Hey music junkies, Professor of Rock always here to celebrate the greatest artists and the greatest songs of all time. If you're all about the greatest music of the rock era, you're going to want to subscribe below to this channel in the description so you don't miss an episode as we're now daily. Also, if you'd be so kind as to support us on Patreon, that helps us so much to curate continued content. Now today we're introducing a new show that we're going to be doing from time to time, and I call it Dose, the greatest duets of the rock era. In the future, we're going to be covering everything from Aretha Franklin, George Michael, and Knew You Were Waiting, to Almost Paradise by Ann Wilson and Mike Reno, to Under Pressure by Freddie Mercury and David Bowie, and so many more. Most of the time, we're going to be including commentary from the actual artists, songwriters, and producers that were involved to place you at the scene of the recording, to give you exclusive insight. Now, for our premiere episode, we're going to go behind two duets that involve one of the greatest singer-songwriters of the rock era, and someone that I believe is so underappreciated. I'm honored to call him a friend, the soundtrack king himself and Mr. Footloose, Kenny Loggins. Kenny is going to take us behind his duet with the superhuman Steve Perry on Don't Fight It, which went to number 17 on the Hot 100 and number 4 on the rock charts in 1982. This song should be so much more celebrated than it is. It was such an amazing thing. You have two of the greatest voices of that time together going toe-to-toe in a contest for the ages. I mean, I remember when I first heard this as a kid, two of my favorites together, it just blew me away. This is one to go back to for sure. Also, Kenny's going to be telling us about the song Heart to Heart, which he wrote and recorded with Michael McDonald and David Foster. That went to number 15 on the Hot 100 as well. Now, Heart to Heart is not technically a duet, the original song, as it features Michael McDonald on background vocals, but it has become a duet in recent years. When they perform it live, and they have many times, it's amazing. Both of these songs are from the same album, High Adventure, and that was a key album in my childhood. I'm sure it was as part of yours as well. So let's get right into it. This is one of the first records I ever bought as a kid. You know?
Really?
Yeah, I was at the store and I was 7 years old, so I was maybe 6 years old. And Indiana Jones, I had seen Raiders of the Lost Ark, so I was a huge Indiana Jones fan. And I saw that and it looked like Indiana Jones to me. And I'm like, is this a soundtrack to... and I picked it up and looked at it. It was really interesting. And you know, of course, I saw the words. And so
Good for you.
I took it home. I took it home and listened to it, and it became my favorite record. Tell me about this record, because you work with David Foster and Michael McDonald again, and Steve Perry.
The Steve Perry track, Don't Fight It, was something Steve reached out to me. We'd met on the road, and he reached out because he wanted to start writing and preparing for his solo album. And so we got together in Santa Barbara and wrote Don't Fight It together, thinking of it as an encore tune, just a rocker. For me, the eye-opener of that was in the studio with Steve when we were just screwing around, and he was running through all the voices that he can do. And he did 5 minutes of Rod Stewart that sounded as good, if not better, than Rod Stewart. And then he did a whole, of course, Sam Cooke.
Oh, yeah.
And he just laid down a whole track in Sam Cooke.
Cupid, please hear my cry and let your arrow fly. Cupid, please hear my cry. Yes, you never fly.
And I was like, wow, this guy's amazing, you know? And it was clear to me that he was going to become one of the great rock singers from our era. I didn't realize at the time how great, but, you know, definitely one of the great ones. I was just really glad to get a chance to do a song with Steve before he decided to bow out.
It's one that deserves a second look, because it went to number 17 pop, but it went top 3 in the rock charts, because it's a great rockin' song. But I love it. I mean, it's just you guys going back and forth. It's just so much energy to it. It's a track that you definitely need to go back and look at.
Just a little known fact, because it's your interview. There's a whip sound in that track
Yeah, I know what you're
that
talking about.
inspired the album cover. My producer snuck into the vault and stole the whip sound from Indiana Jones.
Really?
Yeah, and so that thing was right out of the vault, and he snuck it out, put it on my record, and snuck it back in. And
Wow.
hopefully nobody will get sued. It is, water under the bridge. Been a long time.
Yeah.
But when we did that, that's when I got the idea. Let's do the whole theme of the record, like Indiana Jones, and
Yeah.
do this whole high adventure thing.
Can we go on together? Now that we have grown apart, well, the only way to start is heart to heart.
Well, Heart to Heart, which was the biggest hit from this, it went to number 15 and still just played on classic rock radio all over the place. Tell me how that one came together. You and David Foster and Mike McDonald together.
Right. The chorus was a melody that I had that I thought was a Mike McDonald chorus, but I'd written the chorus with David Foster.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized we have to go get Michael and get the verse from Michael. So I went and showed him what I had, and Mike and I wrote the verse together.
Yeah.
When it came time to record the tune, Foz couldn't capture what Mike played, and Mike couldn't capture what Foster played. So we brought them both in the studio, put Michael on the Rhodes, and put Foster in the connecting room on the Baby Grand. And so they would literally split duties during the recording of the song. The verses Mike would play, and then the choruses Foster would play.
Oh, wow.
And they would both lay out in each other's sections. So I wish I would have had a video back then, because it would have been really fun to see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then that award show for Michael McDonald.
The Yamaha show.
Yeah, Yamaha, exactly.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite moments on YouTube when you guys are singing Heart to Heart because he forgets the lyrics.
Yeah.
And he says,
Yeah.
if I could just remember the lyrics to the song, and it's just a great...
Quintessentially Mike McDonald. And all the years we've done that song, he almost always forgets one or two lines in the tune. I have tried to write the lyrics down in bold writing and put them on the floor. Saying, walk over here and sing your verse right there and just read them. But he doesn't do that. He closes his eyes. If you look at any videos of him performing, he closes his eyes and sings, and then the words just go somewhere.
Oh, man. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't want to lie anymore. But what you're asking is for me to know the words of this song. I want to do right. God, I want to do right. Darling.
Thank you for watching. Leave us a comment about these songs below. Give us your thoughts on Kenny Loggins, Steve Perry, Michael McDonald, David Foster, some of the greatest of all time. What other duets should we celebrate in the future? You can hear all of these songs in our curated playlist below. Also, check out the artist merch link below where you can get some great stuff there. If you like our content, please subscribe to our channel. Help us keep the music alive. Until next time, 3 chords and the truth, my friends.